Dear Bhante, often I feel that the present moment isn't good enough to be content with. I often want more safety, security, pleasant circumstances, promising future circumstances, happier past circumstances to abide in, reflect upon, and look forward to. This constant craving for something other than what is suffering. How can I accept what is? That's a hard one. I mean, honestly, that is really hard. I mean, going back to what I was saying about the Buddha saying, he says, patient endurance is the best meditation. And enduring all of these things, you know, I mean, when you have a crappy mind state, it's instantly what we want to do is, there's a sutta called the simile of the dart or the arrow. And in the sutta, the Buddha talks about the average person, they get hit with the arrow of physical suffering, right? And because we're not, a trainee and an awakened being and these kind of things, we instantly get hit with the arrow of physical suffering. But an awakened being, they get hit with the arrow of physical suffering, but the arrow of mental suffering does not hit. And that is because that suffering is from their mind. And so the Buddha says that, basically in that sutta, he says that, and this is something I've been really reflecting on a lot lately, when an unawakened being, when they are hit with an arrow of suffering, the only thing they know to try to cope with that is sensual pleasures. Something pleasant through the senses. Right? And it's because they don't know the escape from that. The Buddha is talking about jhanas, being able to be in deep concentrative states that are very pleasant, and you're away from things like pain and pleasure and the hindrances and all these kind of things. So Buddha is basically saying our MO is, I'm in this moment, there's something I don't like about this moment, I want to do something to get my mind off of this moment. And so sometimes all you can do is just kind of like grit your teeth and be like, I'm going to be here and I'm just going to be with it. Whatever's going to happen, I'm going to do my best to try to just be with it, observe it, apply the four satipatthana. What's going on in my mind? That urge, like sometimes I'm in meditation, I'm in here, we're doing puja, and there's just this urge. Go, don't meditate, just leave. And I have to be like, and part of the practice is fighting your urge. Like sometimes I'll be meditating, or right after puja, I want to go and I'll leave. Normally what I do when I start my meditation is I walk meditate first. I always walking meditate first. But if my mind is telling me to go, I just sit. And so basically I go against that mind state of find something else to do because I'm not happy with what I'm doing right now. And so I sit. And you know what? That might only last 10 minutes and my willpower is done and I give up and I leave. But at least for me, it was a victory that at that moment, I didn't just follow my whims of that feeling, that overwhelming desire to do something besides being here with your mind. And so to me, that was a victory. And I can look back at that and be like, okay, good. You know what? At least I did that. I didn't sit there and meditate for an hour. I'm not there yet. It's okay. But at least I went against that. So really, it's really about until we have the wisdom to not have to forcibly, basically fight against that. That to me, that's the only way I know how to deal with it. Instead of forcing yourself to say, I'm not going to go watch TV, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to be with it, no matter how horrible it is, no matter how much. And that's really when you come to a retreat, that's basically what you're doing, right? I mean, unless you have your phone and maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to see what's on Netflix or something like that. But I mean, that's what you're doing. You're courageously putting yourself in this situation where it's not going to be pleasant. You're going to go through ups and downs. But a person who is what the Buddha calls diligent, ardent, and resolute, that is the word that he uses for somebody who is properly practicing. Don't give up.